Hello, everybody. We are doing something different today. We're doing this. What is this, you ask? Well, actually, right now, this isn't what we're doing. This is just a nifty metal shader that I made, and I forgot to mute Discord. Let me fix that. I know people get annoyed with the phantom Discord bloops. There's that. Oh, I should probably have chat up also. This is going to be a even more chill stream than usual because I'm not actually going to be playing a game. I just thought it would be cool to do some programming related stuff, basically. So are we trench brooming? Not trench brooming, no. It's even more nerdy than that. We are shadering. This was my warm-up shader. I've been really wanting to make a sphere projection reflecting shader for a long time now. So I made one. I'm not 100% on the blending yet. Rather, right now it just blends between the albedo texture and the chrome reflection texture. There's a couple of other ways you can do it. You can just have the chrome added in, which basically you just see the highlights then instead. I think this is a bit better because right now I think this is a bit better. I haven't tried it on anything other than this gun model that I had lying around. So yeah, so I did that to kind of warm up. And what we're actually going to be doing is basically I'm going to try to make my own little terrain system for Godot, which is something I've never really done before. But the theory behind how terrain works is pretty simple. In theory. Basically, I just need a shader that does vertex displacement. That makes it all that, and then I have a texture that tells how much to displace the vertices. That makes it all bumpy. And then there's some normal related stuff we have to do for lighting. Yeah, noise texture plus vertex displacement is basically oh hey Hatsu. Yeah, thanks to Hatsu, because he's who kind of put me on the right track to figure out how to do this. This is non-perspective correct. I'm not sure if this one I think this is non-perspective corrected, but I'm not actually sure. I'm not actually sure. So this one it's just using the normal in world space. Yeah, world space, and that's about it. It's just the normal of a chrome texture, but in world space. I don't know what would perspective correction add to it. Hold on, Twitch is being stupid. That's a long ass name for a thing. I will warn you. I will warn you. I will warn you guys now. This is going to be a lot of long nerdy words for things. If it's normal converted to view space, it isn't perspective. This one, I think it's so inverted view matrix that'd be world space, right? Here, let's see. Inverted view. Oh, yeah. So this is world's inverted view projection. Let's just see what this does. Nothing. It's the same. Kind of. Or is this perspective corrected? I am aware what is currently in the viewport is not terrain. Yes. We're getting sidetracked already. So going off things, yeah, it's not perspective corrected. You have to do a bunch of extra stuff. Okay, well, wait, which do I need? Inverted view matrix? Hold on. I forget which one it needs to be now. Is it inverted view matrix or inverted projection? I think inverted projection would be world space, right? I would. Do you not subscribe to the gun Earth theory? Which one looks more right? Well, I mean, they both look good here. Here, let's try, this is not terrain. I'm sorry for everyone who came expecting terrain. We have already gotten sidetracked. We're now talking about sphere reflections. Here, let's see what happens when I put it on a sphere mesh. Oh, this is different than what it was before. So that's inverted projection. Here's, yeah, inverted view. I think that's, yeah, that's what I had before. I kind of, which one look, I mean, neither of them are correct, quote unquote, because they're both old school tricks for doing reflections. I almost think, yeah, in answer to your question, oh geez, it's, hey Draku, I do work on Gloomwood, but not really in a like active developing capacity, if that makes any sense. I mean, this looks pretty good. I don't know which one this should be. I should probably mess with these later. Let's see what it looks like on like a this. Yeah, it's about the same. Anyway, okay, I'll mess with this later. This is my Chrome shader I was making to warm up. And we will get rid of that. Let's just make a new scene. Save it as not in materials. Test 2. Sphere maps are very cool. They sure are. It's, yeah, I love old school techniques for reflection, for doing reflections. Like sphere mapping or like sphere projection looks great. You could try using a Phong shader for, I mean, that would just be like normal specular, wouldn't it? Anyway, so the sphere projection is like a fairly old technique that's like, I don't know, what would that be, like late 90s? And then everyone went to cube maps, which are also awesome. And now we're at the point of, I don't know, I'm not interested in realistic techniques for stuff. Like once computer graphics got to the point of, oh yeah, we're just literally emulating what light does, and it just takes a bunch of power. I don't know, it's just not as interesting to me. I like all of the weird tricks and hacks that like developers used to have to use to like make things look shiny when you can't do actual reflections, or make water look like recognizable water when you don't have like refraction or reflections, things like that. Anyway, yeah, Hatsu works on Gloomwood. I work on Gloomwood in sort of a assistant design position now. There's also dual paraboloid mapping, which is essentially 2 sphere maps. Huh. Yeah, it's a deep rabbit hole. Anyway, what we're actually doing today is not, hold on, let me get a window up here, because I'm probably going to have to be looking at stuff. Get out of here, Steve. There. Probably going to have to be looking at a lot on here. So I'll just get that up right now. Terrain is imaginary. It is right now. So the theory behind this is just there are 2 components to this. The first one, and in fact, I'll just get a mesh instance right now. The first one is you just have a plane and you subdivide it a bunch, and then you have a black and white texture, which is your height map that just shows where, how high something is at a given pixel location. You offset the vertices of the plane by the height. So that's the first part. And then get all that to look nice. The second part is use splat maps. My plan is use a splat map that is stored in the vertex color, and that determines what the textures are. Anyway, So there's two components to this. What you're probably actually going to see is me failing a lot at things that I should know how to do, because as I have said before, I am not here. Let's actually just subdivide this a bunch. 16. Doesn't show the subdivisions. That's fine. We'll see them when it is all displaced and stuff. Yeah, splat map is fun to say. Some of the names of things are really enjoyable. Oh, I should have figured out how to get the chat displayed on... I wonder, let's see, can I point... I think there's a way to get chat to display on the screen, like a really quick and easy way, isn't there? Window capture? Maybe it's this. Hold on. This might work. Oh yeah, this should work. Yeah, there we go. Very quick and easy way to put chat on the screen. Now where can I put chat where it won't cover stuff, though? Because you guys can see chat, but yeah, you're on TV. Well, I'll leave the chat off for now. You knew I'd go with the resize the Godot window. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll just like do this, and then not that. That's the wrong thing. That, and then resize this. Yeah, that seems about right. Maybe resize it more. Is that too small? What do you guys think? Is that too small to see? Teeny weeny chat. Is it too small? Move it up to hide gift to subscription. Yeah, that's true. This will only cut off a little bit of the window. I guess I can make the window even smaller, but like it's already pretty small. It works. Could make the chat transparent. Can I? I mean, if I were doing this in the correct way, then I'd be able to make it transparent. Yeah. I don't think I can with just this, which is, I'm literally just capturing the chat window. Oh, here we go. I can make it really thin. How's that? Yeah, nice way to see when they add. I'm sorry, it's stupid ads. It's okay. I probably won't accomplish anything interesting in the next, however, what is that, like 5 minutes or so. Does this look good? Mostly this is for like the video when I post it on YouTube, so people can see chat. I should actually, yeah, I need like, I don't know, whatever the fancy thing is that will actually let me display chat transparently or something like that. Anyway, so first step, not Chrome shader. We don't need Chrome shader. We need a new shader. Terrain shader. This is, I'm not doing this for any specific reason. It just was something I'm like, oh, I want to try doing that. And it also so happened that, you know, Dylan is busy with all of the Gloomwood stuff. Let's get rid of that. Can I get rid of this stuff? No, not really. So I'm like, oh, screw it. I'll just stream some programming then. Maybe people will like it. Maybe people won't like it. I'm not sure. Where was I? Right, shader. Here's our terrain shader. Honestly, don't really need to see the terrain window just yet. So yes. What was I saying? I don't even remember what I was saying. Incoming ad break. Oh, I shouldn't be accomplishing anything. I should wait for the ad to be done. Imagine not being here live. Well, it's an awkward time for some people. So the only thing that I use node-based, like a node-based workflow for is shaders, because that's kind of how I learned to do them. Shader language just never clicked for me. I'm sure it would if I actually sat down and spent the time to learn it, especially now that I kind of understand how shaders actually work. But I'm so used to using visual nodes that I just default to those, because it's the same reason that I David unveils 100-line if clause. Yeah. It's the same reason that I stuck with Unity for so long, because I was always like, I'd like to try, something else, but I could also spend that time making a game instead of learning a different engine. And someone asked earlier if why I switched over to Godot, and the short answer is just I use free or open source solutions for just about everything else in my workflow. I really would benefit quite a bit from having a lightweight open source like engine made for smaller scope stuff, which is exactly what Godot is. And Unity did their whole terms of service thing, and I'm like, why? Well, first of all, they lost my trust with that. Second of all, it kind of woke me up to the fact that I was basing all of my life's work on a subscription service, and I kind of don't want to do that. So, yeah, I decided to switch over to Godot after Butcher's Creek. Do you think Godot is okay for making larger scope games? I think I haven't shipped anything in Godot yet. I've been working on stuff in it, but I haven't actually shipped anything. My experience so far is that when I talk about like it being smaller in scope, it's more that it's targeted at single developers or like a few person teams, if that makes sense. So it's not so much that the scope of what you can do is limited. It's just that like things like Unreal and Unity are targeted at large teams, and individuals can still make great use of them, but there's so many features in Unity, for instance, that I never used and never would have had a need to use because I'm not a studio. So this really quite beautiful little engine is made to be very small, very compact, very lightweight, and targeted at people who it's like one or two people making a game, in games that are not shooting for like AAA fidelity. It can still, it still has all the tools available for you to make a fairly, nice modern looking game, but it's like the target demographic is very obviously that smaller scale, which is exactly where I am. So it's great. My mind was just destroyed the first time I went to update Godot, and updating Unity would be this whole ordeal. It's like you gotta be signed in, you gotta get the launcher, then that like downloads stuff, and it's just this whole thing. And Godot, it was like you download a single exe, which is the entire engine, and there you go, you've upgraded the engine. And then similarly, you can export your game, of course, and what the exported version is there is a single pack file, which is your entire game, and there is a single exe file, which is the entire Godot engine. So, yeah, it's like night and day. And so I could see it perhaps not scaling super well for the needs of like a larger team, or for the needs of someone who's really working on the cutting edge of stuff. But my experience so far has been like this engine is made for people like me, and it feels much nicer to use as a result. So, which engine would you recommend for a beginner? Any of them, honestly. And I'm really not the person to ask about engines, because my only experience has been 10 years in Unity. Sometimes, well, that's not, I did some before Unity in like Game Maker and, you know, just programming. But most of my experience has been in Unity. I have a tiny bit of experience working on things that were made in Unreal, but not actually working on them firsthand. And I have, you know, now like a year, give or take, of off and on experience experimenting with Godot. So I don't know. I think just pick an engine that seems like it'll be nice and try it. I will say that Godot is really, really easy to get and start working in. It's really easy to maintain a repository for it because all of the Git commits are like kilobytes rather than megabytes. Yeah, custom Vulkan engine written in Rust, might as well. Anyway, okay, so what am I doing? Right, vertex displacement. So the first thing we need is to set up the materials and stuff. Let's just make a new material. Shader material. Terrain. My folder structure for Godot is not... I haven't figured out what a good folder structure is yet, because it's the needs are a little different than in Unity. So my folder structure is still a little bit messy. Not that it ever wasn't messy in Unity, but by the time, you know, I was working on like Pony Factory and Butcher's Creek and stuff, it's like I had a method down for where everything would go. Okay, here's our terrain material. We'll give it the shader that we haven't done anything with yet. And we will apply it to the plane. Who up displacing the vertex. GD script is a lot easier for beginners than C#, is it? I found them really similar. There's some extra niceties in GD script that I really appreciate, but it's not like there's a world of difference between the difficulties of really any programming language, like at least any that I've learned. It's like they're all kind of the same. You just learn different words and different little quirks. It's a lot harder to freely... Yeah, I think they're trying to fix that with the what is that? GUIDs? Or the new ID system, which I'm not using in the other game I'm working on because I kind of want everything to be hard locked to a path, because I'm making it with like I'm making my own level editor for it. So I don't know. It's hard to explain. Unique IDs, yeah, UID. All right, so our material is applied. I guess the first thing we're going to want here in the vertex place would be the height map. Oh, we need a texture parameter too. Is that? Whoops. This is probably really hard to read. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. Actually, let's make some more space for the actual shaders. Shader stuff. So okay, here's a thing that I learned the hard way. You have to make sure this is set to color. Otherwise your texture is going to end up looking really washed out. I don't know why it doesn't default to color. Anyway, so there's our texture, goes here. We'll just send that. Oh, I'm right. I'm in vertex. I mean, I guess I'll just quickly code what I think the logic is going to be. You don't want to use a color for a height map? Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you're right. That's why it doesn't default to color. You're an hour and 22 minutes. Yeah, I couldn't believe that there was a like 2+ hour documentary about me on YouTube. That was really cool. Let's see. So we need the vertex. So this will just be I'm in the vertex pass. This will be the vertex I'm working on. And I think I'm just going to add, let's decompose it. Yeah, I think it's just going to be adding to Y, right? Hatsu Sweep and Samansky Stream. Yeah. So you guys are going to, anyone who actually knows what, like, kind of knows what they're doing is going to watch this and probably be really shocked at how not a lot I know about some of these things. Especially once it starts getting into things like matrices and vector math. Like, I still every time have to look up, like, okay, what is the difference between the cross product and the dot product, and what's the order of subtraction to get the direction and all that vector math stuff. So yeah, I think I just need to add to the y coordinate this. We'll grayscale this just to make sure there's nothing funny going on. Or I could just take, no, I could just take R. I'll just do that. Vector for decompose. This is the, so there's some things I actually hate about the visual work, the like node-based workflow. And this is one of them where it's like, if you want to get a part of a vector, you have to have this whole set of stuff happen. And in code, it's a lot cleaner. So we'll just take red and it's going to be, so this is going to be between 0 and 1. So the actual, we're going to need a float parameter. Can you not decompose the out pin? Oh, maybe you can. Maybe I'm just dumb. Let me check there. Oh, you totally can. I'm just dumb. I think that's it. I might have been dumb in Unity also, but I think in Unity there wasn't a way to do this. Maybe there was, and again, I could just be stupid. Okay, so that's that helps a lot. Same here. Yep. Look at that. I learned something new. So we need, oh, right, float parameter. This will be height intensity, I guess, or height scale. Default value should be 1. Now we multiply this. Float multiply. There we go. This by this. And add it to this, I think. And do that. And our whole thing disappears. Cool. Good start. I feel like it shouldn't disappear. This is, oh, it's, no, that shouldn't be disappearing, should it? That's kind of weird. Oh, right, because it actually needs to be like this. And it still disappears. Okay. Well, let's put a pin in that for now and quickly add the height map itself, just in case. So this is a cool feature. Godot has a really handy built-in noise. Oh, hey, look, noise generator. So I guess this was it just didn't have any data, so just sent all the vectors away. I think it just didn't have any data, so it didn't know what to do. Although it should default to white. Oh, there it is now. Oh, it's just because of the backface culling. I couldn't see it. Derp. Okay, so Godot has this really handy noise generator that makes it really easy to get placeholder textures or noise textures, which you use for like everything. Yeah, see? We're already getting somewhere. That's good. Not sure it's quite where we want to get. I'm also, part of this is also going to be, well, I may not have to do that in a script. Because this is another really cool thing. And this may be a thing in other engines, but it was not a thing in Unity, where you can create assets that are just inside of other assets, basically, or inside of scenes. So like, I can just make this plane, and it's just inside of like the mesh instance node, and it's crazy. If you like, you can see it's just text. They did, like, this just exists in there. It doesn't actually, you don't actually have it as like an external resource. I don't know. It's weird. So actually, let's make this relatively terrain sized. Probably 40. That's better. Oh, I'm going to need to import my character controller also. I'm going to do this off screen. Just because there are a couple things I'm doing I don't want spoiled, even though it's not a big deal if they do get spoiled. But let's see. Another cool thing is I'm going to copy over the script. Well, actually, it's the script and the entire prefab of a character controller I did from another project, and I'm going to just drop it into the folder here, and I think for the most part it'll just work. Let's see, I'll make a characters folder. Although there's not really going to be any other characters in this other than the player. Okay, so that's 2 files I dropped in, and it should import and mostly work when I place him. Let's see. I think that worked. Let's try running it and see. Yeah, select current. Oh wait, no, this won't work yet because there's no collision. Anyway, there's the player scene. Oh, it's because it's in a different place. Fix. Oh, here we go. That. So it doesn't. It does have to be. There we go. Yes, it should be good now. Did I not fix it? Yeah, I fixed it. There. Let's try again. There we go. There's the player. Anyway, it's really interesting the way you can nest stuff together in this. I haven't figured out what best practices yet, because you can just like make let's see, like if you want to make a decal, like a bullet hole decal, you could just like have the material and texture and everything just kind of inside of the decal prefab, although in this prefabs are called scenes. I don't know if that's a bad idea or not, though. It's different from what I'm used to doing. Yeah, that was earlier. Okay, so I think we will figure that out later, because one of the stupid things I'm going to have to figure out is collision. Let's see if, yeah, there we go. Now he actually loads in. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to translate because I have never actually procedurally built a mesh before, or like a collision mesh. I don't know exactly how it works. Okay, now why is this completely white? Right, because we don't have Where's the... No. Oh, I need to... I swear, half your brain leaves as soon as you start streaming. Is this how he makes terrains? It is, yeah. Well, I think it is. I've never done this before, so... let's... I mean, honestly, maybe I'll just make it vertex shaded for now. No, that doesn't really help. I kind of just want to get a... Oh, right. I haven't... A shading isn't going to be correct until I figure out how to change the normals to match. Okay, let's make a texture. I'm going to need to figure out how to adjust the normals to match the height map so that lighting will work. So for now, so it's easy, so I can see stuff and it's not just a big white void, I'm going to add a texture, a main texture to apply to it. There's texture 2D parameter. This one will be color. Oops. Yeah, I got that. Sampler port. Do that. What's main text, I guess. There was a mesh instance feature to build a tri-mesh collider. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read some of the documentation to figure out how to do it. Let's see. Not sure if it was ever fixed, but I heard something about Godot's noise texture generator increasing asset load times significantly. Okay, that's good to know. I don't know if it's been fixed or not. Or if it might have been fixed. There are so many things that were fixed in like 4.4. Speaking of noise, let's name this terrain, just so I stop getting confused. Speaking of noise, looks really goofy on the sphere preview. Anyway, let's give it a noise texture. Just give it just something so that I can kind of... I'm actually going to turn up the frequency on this really high just so I can see what is happening. There we go. Actually, maybe lower frequency is better. Probably like somewhere like that, and then I'll just up the contrast with a color ramp. Okay. Again, this is just sort of for visualizing. Upping the contrast doesn't help. Oh, I could also... Actually, for the time being, I could just pipe this whole thing into vertex color. I don't know if that helps. Maybe I'll mix it with this thing. Multiply. Oops. Yeah, let's mix these. Not bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. Especially if we up height scale a little bit. Okay, so first step in making the terrain, which is to make a jaggedy plane thing, is already accomplished. That's good. Deal with shader editors in Godot and Blender always gives you such anxiety. Really? Maybe just use like a checker texture. That's true. Something, or I'll just make the I'll make the noise. Let's see how to do this. Cellular noise with. No, it would be that, and then with cell value. So then there's some hard lines. Does that help? I don't know if that helps or not. What's the texture? Hey, actually that helps. Yeah, again, this is just for visualizing because I don't have the lighting working yet. Oh, you did hear a Stalker PDA beep. That's my phone notification. Anyone in chat or David got tips on how to finish making a game? Usually in the last like 15 or 10% of the project, you just have to push yourself. I don't have any better advice other than like usually you just have to make yourself do it. Oh, actually, if I make this unshaded, I think that'll help. Helps a little bit because then I can see the dark areas better. Actually, this looks pretty cool already. The goofy noise texture aside, I kind of like how piping in the height into vertex color, it kind of gives it almost ambient occlusion. Yeah, work on it until it's done. Also, I usually advise people that if they can, try to ignore the perfectionist part of your brain, and it's pretty much always better to have finished and released a game that is imperfect than it is to have never finished and never released a game that is perfect in your head, if that makes any sense. All right, what is the next part? Yeah, because this part was actually pretty simple. What happens when I resize the plane? It just works. Okay. Cool. We could even get 32. I mean, where's the height map? We could actually make this look like something proper over here. Give it a random seed. 7, sure. Maybe. We'll do that. Could try a different type of noise. Cellular noise? Actually, cellular noise might work great for this. Come to think of it. Because it's kind of tends to look a little bit more like mountains. Maybe even more these octaves. Oh, maybe ridged? Yeah. Actually, it might actually be better with no fractalizing, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's actually kind of neat. If we give it a domain warp. I mean, any of these will work. Could have put the albedo into a color ramp. Yeah, one step I do want to try on this is making a splat map, which will basically do that. If the colors were different, it would straight up like a riverbed. We could do that just for fun. Let's see. So we got the vertex color. It would probably look better if because I'm gonna have to use the what are these errors? Oh, that was from earlier. Get rid of those. Because the idea is to start using the color for the splat map, the vertex color, Maybe actually my next step should be the lighting. I think the next step has to be either the lighting or collision, because the actual vertex displacement was like stupidly easy to do. I thought there were going to be more problems that came up for that. Collision is going to be a giant can of worms. Well, does anyone in chat have a suggestion for where to even start with that? Maybe, well, if anyone knows where I should even start, like, figuring out how to do the collision, let me know. Is it going to be generated in real time or pre-generated terrain? Probably pre-generated. Although if it could support both, I mean, I am making this as something that could be potentially used at some point, in addition to just for fun. But I mean, honestly, like, there are so many terrain solutions that you can just get for free that smarter people have made. I'm mostly doing this just because I want to do it and learn the stuff. So, does your character handle stairs? Not at the moment. Godot's collision shape 3D has a handy height map shape resource type. Really? Okay. Maybe I should... Let's actually save this then. Oh, I need to make it unique first. Okay. Not recursive. I guess in textures? Now I'll make a height map folder. Just say height map 1. So now, yeah, now we got this. Nice. So now changes I make to this should, yeah, they propagate to there. Okay, cool. I guess let's try that then. Collision shape 3D. We need a height map shape 3D. Yep, that's a map data. Has to be a packed float array. I don't think this... Okay, so there's problem 1, is the map data has to be a packed float array. Yeah, that's true. It could... Oh, that's true. It's not going to generate a correct... Yeah, because it's... Yeah, do they have one that it does from a texture? I doubt it. I think I'm going to have to do my own version. Have to pull the values from the texture. Yeah. So that might actually still be the best solution. I can just have it have the height map shape, and then I'll just write a script that takes the value from the texture and converts it into that. Any tips on learning things? The only real useful tip I have is that I don't know if this is true for everybody, but for me, it's really never... It's never been helpful to wait until I know something to start trying to make something with it. So I always just start trying to make something and learn as I go. I just use like tutorials and documentation and stuff. I just kind of open up, like for Godot, I just like opened Godot and just started messing around and seeing what buttons did and stuff. It's kind, I guess it's kind of a slower and less what's it called, complete, less complete way of learning a thing there, but I don't know. All right, so how difficult would it be to generate? How do you generate a mesh? I have never done any runtime mesh generation. So that would probably be something like be convex, right? And then we need to give it points. Man, so maybe I will try doing this. It is a height map. I just need to pipe in the right data here. So let me bring up some height map shape 3D. Oh, look, they have a little example. Oh, look at that. Update map from data from image. Okay. That should be easy. Let's give our terrain a script. Call it terrain dot mesh instance 3D. That should be good. Put it in the terrain. See, this is where I'm still not sure exactly how I should structure the folders. Because in Unity, I would have a separate scripts folder. In this, because of how it uses scripts, they're a little more tightly bound to like the node you put it on. So I just throw it into whatever. Wait, what folder did I throw that into? Because I don't have one. Wait a second. Did I put it in level? Yeah, I put it in level scenes. That's not great. It'll be fine. Well, okay. Let's put it in props, I guess. Like a props folder. And put the thing, where did I even put it? Level scenes. Put that in the props folder. So then if I save the terrain, that'll go in the props folder also. What is the potential to be incredibly inefficient? What did I miss? Yeah, there's definitely other ways of collision detection I could use for this, because nothing will ever be underneath of it. So it could just like reference a array of points, and then I guess I would have to interpolate between them. Honestly, I think the cleanest way is just to make a collision mesh, though, because that's how everything in, like, that's how all of the all physics already knows how to interact with that. So it's going to be a lot cleaner to just figure out a way to generate that, which I think this should work. How do I run something in the editor? Because I'd like to have this be something that I can do in the editor, not just at runtime. But I think that's putting the cart before the horse. Let's see. Oops. Func build terrain collision. Please do not make fun of my how I structure my code. It's not good. At the top right tool, is that it? And then that's it? Really? Okay. I'll write it first and then. So this will, what is this? Shape 3D. I mean, the code is here, so gets a height map texture. That's easy. Should the function take? Yeah, we should probably have a export or height map. Height map texture. It's a okay. Yeah, that should work. I could also load it by path. Gotta be careful though. For any code you don't want to run in the editor, you can block it off with the condition if not engine is editor hint. Okay. That is good to know. I mean, I'm only going to want this to run when the thing gets rebuilt. I'll probably want to have like a button I can press that'll make it run. That's so we have the height map texture. And we need to what is the difference between a height map texture and a height map image? Well, let's just copy this. I don't know what image format stuff is. So. Don't need pass anymore. The dev streams are back. Yeah, I thought I'd try it and see if you guys enjoy it. You could load it as a noise resource and then do get image. So why? I guess it's I guess because there's other data to the texture other than just the image. We're converting it to this for some reason. And height min, height max, those should match the shader. In fact, oops, height max. I don't know if we need height min. You think you would be able to play a synth handling it and such? I don't know, Chuma. I've never tried it. Yeah, this should be given to the shader also. Or this should set that value in the shader, but I can do that later. And then we just have update map data from image. Image height. Oh, this asks for height min. That's why. Okay, I'll just copy that, I guess. I don't know if it's considered bad practice to just copy code, but sometimes it's like, why would I bother retyping this? So we have height map in image. Height map minimum will be 0. Not found in base self, right? Because it's a what is it? Shape 3D. So I need to get the collision shape. Just that right there. Collision shape 3D. Okay, well that's easy. Just that should work. One thing that I absolutely love about Godot is it is actually perfectly fine with you referencing stuff by its scene path, which I did all the time in Unity and was not good practice. So Quake Music Jam. Yeah, I don't know if that's something I'll have the time for in the near future, though. I have so little time for things. Vertices in the width. Okay, we're going to want this to be bound to the shader eventually as well. Right now it's 32. Okay. I am a genius. I don't know about genius. All right, so I would like to add a button to the inspector. Is this assigned? Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so much. Let's clean this up a little bit. Not that much. That wasn't what I meant to do. Yeah, I would like to add a button to the inspector that I can click, and then it will do this. So first, I'll make this a tool. Export tool button, was that at the top of the script? Okay. I'll make this. I don't think Godot has a built-in terrain. It shouldn't, because it doesn't have a built-in terrain editor, so I don't think it has anything called terrain. I hope. All right, so I saw something in there that was... Wait, those should be X. Where are those? Oh, they're right there. Derp. Okay. Export tool button. How does that work? I'll just find the documentation. Tool button. Ooh. Or I'll use Google. Tool button? It's from 3.5, but surely it's about the same, right? Wait, newer version. Page not found. Great. Okay. We'll just try this. Tool button. This doesn't really help. Maybe if I search... Why am I Googling Google? Why did I do that? Gefordert. This may be it. Just gotta find where tool button is. Is it alphabetical? There's a lot of these. Grouping, strings, limiting ranges, colors, nodes, maybe? Export node path, resources, that stuff. Did I miss it? Come on, it's got to be here somewhere. Export tool button, here we go. Okay, export to button. Hello. What's a callable property as a clickable button? Okay. Okay, I'm just going to copy the syntax here. So it's... What would this be? Build terrain collision. Why does... I'm going to be embarrassed here because I am very hazy on exactly how callables work. This exports a callable property as a clickable button. Yeah, but aren't we setting the callable there? So why do we need this? Yeah, there is. I know that there's a lot of pre-made Godot terrain resources that I could use that are going to be better than what I make, but every once in a while there's something where I'm just like, I want to make that myself just because I want to. It seems like fun to figure out. Okay, export a button with label hello and the icon callable. Okay. It's just what's displayed. Oops. You know what? Let's let's actually make this a little smaller since I'm not doing the shader right now. Okay, I'll just leave it as callable. Equals. I think I can just pass it this, right? Okay. Yep, there's the button. Oh, I see that the icon. Okay, I get the icon thing now. So I can have different. Okay. I'm scared to press this button. Let's assign the height map. Let's go into 3D view. We have a terrain. We have the why. What is the? Please only use it as a child of. Oh, right. I need to. It needs a static body. And then collision. So actually, that's going to change this. I think, right? Yeah. There we go. Okay. Back to terrain. We need to give it the height map texture, which is here. Height map max. Let's make sure that matches the shader, which is also on the terrain. I actually think next thing I'm going to do is pipe those values into the shader from... Well, actually, I could make them... What is that called? Uniform? Uniforms? Is that what they're called? Because those need to... yeah. Where is the material? Here we go. Oh my gosh. One thing that is kind of annoying is that it's really easy for things to become just a mess of different windows. Shader parameters. Okay, that's set at 5. So I'll set this one to 5 for now. Oops. All right, let's see what happens. Build. I have no idea what happened. Oh, there we go. It did not work. Okay, cool. Why didn't it work? Yeah, I don't love how busy the inspector always feels either. Why not work? Get rid of all that. Max. There's our image. That should be fine. Oh, here we go. The value of property terrain build action is nil, but callable was expected. Terrain build action equals... Did I not have parentheses or something? That's all they do. Build terrain collision. Build terrain collision. What is the problem then? Do I need to specify that as a callable? They don't in the example, but... let's look up. Maybe reloading the scene helps. Okay, let's try that. Collision. Okay, now it says non-existent function update map data in collision shape 3D. Really? Let's clear all this. Try again. Update map data from image is not in collision shape 3D. Does collision shape 3D not inherit? I see it. Height map shape 3D. That doesn't inherit from collision shape 3D. Okay. Can I make a... No? Oh, I probably... Oh, that's why. Oh, shame. I think that's the problem. I need to get the actual shape. Yeah. Okay, let's try that now. Drum roll. Whoa! It's big! Oh, that's not quite right. But it's progress. And it seems to have height data of some sort. I wonder if it's because of the resolution of the image. I'll bet it's because of the resolution of the image. Because I think if I actually make this... No, not that one. This will probably... Yep. I think. Yep, I think. Okay. So... Let's just do that again to make sure. Yeah, no errors popped up. Okay, so we solved the weird problem. Now we just need to figure out... I'm pretty sure that it's... Can I resize an image? Let's look at the documentation again. Wonder if that number of vertices in the depth of the height map. So I think that's these are 2D, right? This is just X and Y. Okay, so update map data from image. Updates map data with data read from an image reference. Automatically resizes height map, map width, and map depth to fit the full image width and height. So there's our first problem. Each image pixel is read in as a float from 0 to 1. This range gets remapped to that. Okay. Needs to be in image format RF, this or this. Okay, so what if we just do this and then manually resize it back to what we want? Okay, first for equals this. We're going to cache that. Then we're going to take this. I'm going to, ooh, hey, I just realized what would happen if I put, what would happen if I made the height map chrome? That could be interesting. Have I figured out saving and loading in Godot yet? I haven't had to quite yet. The game I'm working on right now is, the levels are planned to be short and there will be no mid-level saving. It'll be sort of like, Earth Defense Force levels, but I have figured out saving. I mean, it's just JSON, right? Like it's basically like I have a level editor that saves and loads maps as a JSON file, and saving is basic. Like saving and loading the game is basically the same idea. Okay, we got all this, got all that. Now we need to... What? I think this will help. I think that'll give me more hints now. Yes. No, wait. Yeah, here we go. Can I set either of these? Oh, that might be a problem if I can't. No. It's this, right? Yeah, map. So is that it? That is a really weird naming, because should it just be map X and map Y? So depth would be Y and width would be X, right? For now we'll just 40. We'll just do it manually. Again, these are gonna have to be values I put up here and that get piped into the shader, or in this case, it'll have to get piped into the mesh instance, which isn't a huge deal. All right, now what happens when I do that? Okay, something happened. Oh, you know what's going to help here? Let's make the terrain, let's make it two-sided. Huh. I almost feel like it's upside down. Or is it just rotated weirdly? It's got data of some sort, but it's weird data that doesn't make sense. I almost feel like it's inverted. Yeah, it does look right. I'm not, well, no, because there isn't inverted. Or is it just offset weirdly? I don't know. I do kind of think it looks inverted, yeah. Try rotating the static body. That's not a bad idea, yeah. I think it's rotated weirdly. Guess not. Oh, it almost... No, well, actually, it looks like one of the axes isn't being taken into account. Did I do a typo? No, that's fine. Yeah, because look at it. If we... It's like... Oh, that's so weird. Maybe it's because maybe it's like from me resizing it. It's not inheriting the noise. The mesh is wavy and not random. Yeah. Huh. Here, can I make the... Let's make this a lot more visible. That's a bit garish. Maybe red. Why would it be doing this? Oh, there's an ad in progress. That's so strange. What's all this? I'm missing an axis when calling the terrain. I don't think so. How do you give advice to start up indie games? You got to make something first. So start making it. Start making something. Basically, is the best way to start. Number of subdivisions. I wonder if this matters. Let's make it 40. So there's one subdivision for each Unity unit, or not Unity unit, Godot unit. Maybe it's the image conversion that's the problem. This is technically not a texture. Let's make it seamless. And I guess let's run the generation again and see what happens. Definitely changed. The weird part is that there is data for, what is that, the z-axis. Like, it's not just a straight line. I don't think, at least. Oh, that's so weird. Was Unity's cut of your games ever significant enough that not having to pay that? It won't be a huge impact, no. Yeah, it's, for me, it's more about not being able to trust Unity, and also the fact that I would much prefer to have my stuff be open, like on a open source platform, and have it be that I own all of my stuff and it's not tied to sorry, I'm getting distracted. It's not tied to a subscription system. Okay, something I noticed. This says, where is it? Right here. Yeah, this says that the, oh, it is, okay, it is 16,000. Does it keep going up if I press it continuously? No, it doesn't. I mean, that is 80, wait, 80 by 80? Okay, what about if we have this, what happens? I mean, that size makes sense. I'm so confused. This is very weird. Oops, not 44. I'm wondering if that's the issue. Either that or this. This is noise texture 2D, which is different from a texture 2D. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna look up texture 2D. Does it have an? Okay, it inherits texture 2D. I feel like it's okay. Let's watch this while I build it. Okay, so the actual texel density is the same. How would I change that? Well, it's probably based on the image, right? So what if I make the image 40? What if I make this 40 instead of 512? Now let's get rid of this and try rebuilding it and see what happens. And now it's perfect. Kind of. Almost perfect. That's about what I'd expect though. Okay. So if I make this 512, I need to resize the image then. Because then when I build it, oh, what happened here? Oops, that's the that was the wrong thing. Undo what it should be 40. 40. Okay. Height map. This, let's put this back to 512 by 512. Where's my button? There. Yeah, I think I need to resize the image. How do I resize an image? Can you downsize a texture? Get it. This says go to image docs. Should be there. So what happens, Graham, is that it's because yeah, the image size. If I make the image size of the height map match the unit or the Godot unit size. If I make it so that 1 pixel on the height map it equals 1 Godot unit, everything is fine. So I just need to I need to figure out how to resize the image first. Which the image docs. Yeah, basically so basically there's something weird happening when I try to I wonder if it's like only taking like a small bit of the map. It doesn't actually. Yeah. Anyway, basically it's that I need to get the actual height map image to match whatever the terrain size is. Or not the terrain size. It's the number of subdivisions. Oh, well, I need to make these not be the same. Let's take this down to 32. So there's not any confusion. So the size is 32. The height map size is 512, hence this big thing. If I make this 32, then build it, that should be correct, kind of. No, it isn't. No, because it's not... It's not the subdivisions I need to care about. It's the actual size. Actual size is 40. Now we build it. And now it's fine. Okay. Like I said, I need to... Maybe actually... What time is it? 2:06. Maybe I need to first make all of these things, like, propagate correctly. So let's export... Oops. vector2. No, var. Sometimes I get the syntax reversed. Terrain size. There. So there's our size. There's our height max. Now I just need to give these numbers to the correct places. One thing I am a bit concerned about is I got to figure out some way of like I need to figure out some way of getting, it's like if I do this, the smaller I make this, the less it's going to match the actual height map data. Yeah, I mean, I really need... Would it be easier to make this in Blender or something and import it? Not necessarily, because the idea here is to eventually have this as something that could be edited easily in the editor itself. Sample the texture at the subdivision resolution. Yeah, the thing that doesn't work out about that, I think. What would that be? Let's make it 16. And then we'll make this 16. And now I believe when I build it, the height map is going to be too small. Yeah. Because the height map really wants... What if I make the height map bigger in code then? Make these go to... What was it? Is it 40? Yeah. Nah, it doesn't work. See, all the data is like right there. Yeah, the small differences are because of the different resolutions being used. Well, wait a sec. What if... Where's the... This is at 40. Get 32. Build this again. No, we don't want these. What if I adjust the scale instead? Okay, because this sort of matches up, it's just the wrong size. So then what happens if I just scale? I guess it'd be the collision shape itself to what? Let's do it manually in here. Scale. Local scale? What is the scale called? It's not local scale? Equals... What would that be? Like 1.3 something? Let's just see what happens. Nothing. Oh, right. That's what we need to scale up. Did it spit out on... Yeah, it did spit out an error. Let's just do that. I just want to see a change happen. No change. Okay, info, Okay, something I messed up. What is the scale called? Do I need... Why can't I get... So I'm getting the load. This is weird. It has a transform. Let's just make it 0. I just want to see something happen. These both are inherit from node 3D, so they should have global position and scale. What am I missing here? Okay, what am I doing wrong? See, it's right there because it inherits from node 3D. So is it because I gave it a custom class name? No, that wouldn't make sense. Is it because it's a tool? I wonder if it's because it's a tool. Let's look that up. Tool. None of that is really what I need. Okay, var. Let's try this. Wait, it's already at 0. That's why it's not changing. What is the scale called? Is it local scale? Just scale. Okay. Yay, it changed. Okay. So it's not quite right because I shouldn't be increasing the Y scale. But I think that's what we're going to have to do. There we go. Yeah, it's not quite right because I need to get the actual mathematical... what time is it? 2:15. So in 15 minutes, I'm going to have to go pick up my daughter from school. So what I want to do right now is to get... So let's see, we have terrain size... And we need terrain subdivisions. Just set that to 1. So I need to give all of this information to the different parts. So what are the different parts? What is going on here? Uh-oh. Okay. That's a problem. Non-uniformly scaled collision shape 3D node will probably not function as expected. Great. Well, regardless of that, we will revisit that in a moment. No, right here. We need to give everything... Oh, actually, no. Let's make a new function. Or I could do it in the collision. There's just so many moving parts to this for some reason. Hey, I should quickly see if the collision even functions. Let's put the player in here. And the player... Euclid default. So that should function. Let's see if it functions. It does. I haven't set up the input, so it's spitting out errors, but the collision works. Just need to get it to line up properly with stuff. So height map texture is fine. Height map max, that needs to go to the shader. That's not as important right now as these other two. Terrain size goes to that goes to, where does it go? I think it goes to the terrain. Yeah, it goes to the mesh. What is this? Yeah, this is just called mesh. Mesh dot size. So it'd be, oh, that's easy actually. Equal terrain size. Okay, there's that. Now subdivisions. That's the terrain subdivisions. What's this called? Subdivide width. What is that word? Divide width equals terrain subdivisions. We'll just copy that and do the same thing with height. Okay, there's that. So now we don't have to look at this anymore. This can be, we'll just set it to 1. And I should be able to hit this, and it errors out. Okay. It's just plain mesh size. This should be working. So, well, it's fine with size. It just wasn't fine with these. And that's probably, oh, because I'll bet it's because what is that called? Plain mesh. We'll try that. No, that should still work. It shouldn't have to do that. It should just be mesh. Subdivide width. Okay, to the documentation again. Plain mesh. Here we go. Subdivide. See, it's right here. This in her, it's mesh, primitive mesh. Oh, maybe because it's... Mesh dot... I'm stuck. What am I doing wrong? F size. Did I just misspell it? Is that the problem? Wait, because I just noticed something. Because I think it set the height correctly, didn't it? Or maybe not. Oh, it's depth. I think that's the problem. Maybe. Subdivide depth. Subdivide width. It may not actually be the problem. I don't know. Let's try again. Nope. Oh, is it because it's 0? Why is it 0? It should be... Okay. Let's set all of these. Terrain size, I don't know, 50. The terrain is size 50. Let's try this again. There we go. It's just because I had everything at 0 like an idiot. Easy fix. And then in that case, I don't know what we're going to do with this. Okay, we've got our image. Let's put this back to 512. If possible, I don't think we should have to resize that image. We just need to figure out how to, well, no, we do have to resize that image. We shouldn't have to resize it, like the thing itself, though. Should do that. Yeah, but then, well, then there's still the problem of the texel density is not going to match. Let's just comment this out too. Because right now, if we, no, because I think right now it doesn't match either. Like if we take this down to 8, yeah, so the terrain can have less subdivisions, but then I'm not quite sure how to get the collision to have less subdivisions. Well, no, I am sure actually. No, I'm not sure because I need to, because what it actually needs to happen is, okay, we'll say this is 16. Then this, so the image needs to get resized to 16. And then somehow I need to get, let's remake this, not that. Let's make this uniform scale again. So the image needs to get resized to be 16, first of all, and then I need to figure out how to resize the resulting collision map back up to the terrain size. It's kind of a mess. And it's almost 2:30, so I'm going to have to go. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to solve that in... Because if I just have this... Like if I just have height map shape equal... Is the problem that maybe I actually need to... No, I think it said it would update everything for me. Height map shape dot resize. It couldn't hurt to try. Easy resize method for the image class. Okay, I see. Okay, well, let's at least do that then. Height map, image. Not the shape, it's the image. Height map image. Yep, there it is. Resize to terrain size. I think. What does it need to? Interpolation. 1, sure. Whoops. See what happens there. Nope, I don't need to press play. I need to press this. Hey. Okay. Something happened. Well, it's not correct, but something happened. Oh, I think it's because of the subdivisions. So if I make the terrain subdivisions, like if I make it 50, I think everything will match up then, but I don't want it to be 50. Yeah, there we go. For the most part, it matches up. Yeah, for the most part, that matches up. It's not perfect, but it's okay for now. So that works. But now the problem is I need to figure out how to get a different texel density. Because I would like for the terrain should be like 32 or something. I mean, it still kind of matches up, but there's too many texels. There's too many. Oh, and there's like a margin. I think that's a setting somewhere in there. Why would they not make it possible to? I guess that still isn't the worst. Like, it doesn't line up exactly right, though. And it should. There's no reason this couldn't line up exactly right. I just need to figure out how to get it so the actual collision can have this texel density. Maybe if I... Wait, what would that be? Divided by terrain subdivisions. Oh, maybe actually I don't want interpolation. I wonder if that would help to turn it off. Why am I... That's not what I meant to do. No, that's not quite right either, is it? I don't think the math is correct there. Yeah, the math isn't right there. No, I don't. Oh, it is 2:30. You're right. Oh, man, I really wish I could get this solved. But yeah, but I'm going to have to go. Oh, I screwed something up. Let me at least get it back into a working condition first. No, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, terrain is this. That should work, I think. Why isn't it working now? Suddenly it broke. Great. I'm gonna try reloading the scene. It's still broken. Oh, it's because of oh, but it's because of interpolation. That's not the button I meant to press. It's not because of interpolation. Whoa, there's a lot of errors. Oh, that's just from running it. Did I save that? Yes. What happened? Oh, okay. One last thing to try. Gonna try. Gonna try setting this before we make the image. Just to see what happens. Nothing good. I have thoroughly broken this. I don't know what I did. I mean, I kind of know what I did. What happened? It's 512. We've resized it to, yep, the correct size. What did I do? I don't know what I did. Let's do that. Yeah, I genuinely do not know what I did. I think it had to do with the interpolation, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go now. Ah, that's frustrating. Did I adjust the terrains? Yeah, the terrain size is still 50. It's not the shader, because it... That's so weird. Why is it not working now? Okay, let's get rid of this line and then add it back in. Oh, that doesn't change anything. I wonder... Let's just reload the project. Because this is acting weird enough. It does have Control-Z, yes. But... Oh, there we go. Now it works. Yeah, that was just... I think that was just a weird quirk thing. So... I got some thinking to do, because it mostly works. Like, the collision... There is a collision... like, there is a collider here, and it sort of matches up with the terrain. It's just that because of the different texel densities, it's not good enough to use. It's not really usable for a game right now. So I know what the problem is. I basically just need to get it so that this collision shape, it's when it spits out the collision data, it's not using one unity. It's not like, because right now the way it works is that it has a width and a depth of 50, and so also its number of subdivisions is 50. I need to get it to work the exact same way that the actual terrain geometry creation works, where it can have a size of 50 and then have a resolution of something that isn't 50, if that makes any sense. Which should be an easy task. The problem is just that I don't know how to resize this properly. Well, I can probably write my own code for going through that array, going through this, and averaging it out. Is there a way to I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this, because I think there is a way to do this. I just got to figure out how. Yeah, anyway. So I'm going to think more on that. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you enjoyed this. It's kind of weird and different. Let me know if you want to see more of this. Or if you would prefer to see more games or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to head out and go pick up my child. So thank you guys for coming, and I will talk to you later. Bye.